everyone. We're working on the heart chakra today, which means arms and upper back. So join me, we're gonna have fun. With a shoulder stretch first. We want a little mobility before we add stability to the shoulder. Interlace your fingers. You can sit like this. I'll show you how to do it on a stool in just a second. You're going to right hand on top, reach right. Reach towards the right corner of your mat. And then sit back and lay your head on the bottom shoulder. The top the top elbow must be completely straight and locked out to suck this bottom arm through and get this nice lat stretch on the left. I'm going to show you real quick on the stool. If you have a knee replacement or some reason why your knees don't like that, many reasons, interlace, reach right hand on top, reach right, and then lay like this. And then you can just slide this stool back, or if you're sitting on a solid chair, you can just reach your arms more forward. Now, I do like the elbow off of the mat when you do this, because you can get deeper into this stretch. Take some nice long breaths there. You can shift your hips a little, shift your hips to the right, shift your hips to the left, and then come up. We're going the other direction. Left hand on top, reach towards the left corner of your mat. Drop your head. Big long breathing. If you want to split your knees apart, you can let the belly hang. The color is green at the heart. The deadly sin or the shadow passion of the ego is wrath. Anger, wrath. And then the grace that we're praying for today is fortitude. Fortitude is kind of like perseverance or pushing through something, getting to the other side. So our fear is of the light, and we move into wrath. It's like a wall of fire, but we have fortitude to push through the wall of fire to the other side where the light is. Now you're going to come to the center, which is the tortoise. Pointer finger points down, lock the elbows, drop the head. And then reach your arms out as far as you can and sit back. Release, moving to the rabbit, forehead towards the knees. This rabbit's going to interlace behind your back because I want to stretch the shoulders. And it's not quite the rabbit. The rabbit has, the forehead touches the knees, but you don't need to touch the knees here. Slowly lower down. Moving into the boat, downward facing boat, onto your belly. Interlace the fingers behind your back. Straighten the elbows as you reach towards your feet. And if your hands don't reach, you can hold a belt between your hands. Belly up, tail down, shoulders away from ears. Feet can be hip-width apart. Super straight on the legs, thighs are contracting. Lift in the upper back. Belly up, tail down. Retract your head, strengthening your neck. Breathe like you mean it. This is a power pose. Lift your hands away from your waistline. Pray for the grace of fortitude. Fortitude to push past wrath. Into unconditional love is the universal truth here. So you're pushing past the fear that causes wrath, or the fear of humiliation, the hurt that causes anger, wrath. Hurt and humiliation. Well, hurt and humiliation are related, right? You get hurt because you don't want to be humiliated. So we're back to humiliation, which has to do with pride. You see how these are all interlacing together now, don't you? Humiliation of pride creates wrath at the heart. And you have the fortitude to push through both, the fire of both, to the light on the other side, which is unconditional love. Arms out in airplane wings, reach. Lift in the upper chest. If this is getting too much for you, you can lower down and come back. Super straight on the elbows, and then do lower down, head goes to one side. Arms in airplane wings, reach towards the corners of the room as you drive the shoulder blades down the back intensely, straightening the elbows, locking them, and then rising through the shoulders. Thumbs are trying to point upwards. Belly up, tail down, retract the head, and then look slightly forward, but keep the head retracted. Breathe like you mean it, belly up, tail down. Now you're going to bank to the left, like you're flying a plane. And then bank to the right. Come back to the center, head goes to one side, let your body go soft. Cobra, fingertips under shoulders, elbows in tight towards the body, elbows trying to touch the hip bones. Starfish, squid with the hands, pull back towards your hips on your hands. Belly up, tail down, shoulders down. Inhale. And as you exhale, you're going to rise up, 50% arm, 50% back. Going to start low, exhale down. Inhale on the pauses. Exhale, high ribs move forward and up, mid ribs forward and up, low ribs pull back with the hands, forward and up. Inhale. Exhale, pull back with the hands, low ribs forward and down, mid ribs forward and down, high ribs forward and down. Feet hip width apart, straighten the knees, point the toes. Exhale, here we go. Forward, up, forward, up, forward, up. Now you go a little higher, press into the hands. Exhale, pull back, forward, down, forward, down, forward, down. Inhaling, exhale, shoulders down, forward, up, forward, up, forward, up. Press into the hands a little bit higher. Elbows touch the rib cage. Exhale, pull back, forward, down, forward, down, forward, down. Inhale. Exhale, forward, up. Press into the hands, 50% arm, 50% back, a little bit higher. Exhale, pull back, forward, down, forward, down, forward, down. Inhale. Fortitude, forward, up, forward, up, forward, up. Fortitude to reach unconditional love. Keep trying. Exhale, forward, down, forward, down, forward, down. Elbows try to touch each other. Squeeze those elbows in. They graze the rib cage. Belly button up, tail down first. Inhale. Exhale, rise. Going up a little higher each time. Equal contraction on both halves of your back. And hold it, 5. Slowly lower down. So 5 counts at the top. Here we go. Slowly lower down. Head goes to one side, let your body go soft. It's getting warm. I'm going to take my socks off. Moving into the upward dog. Actually, let's do the ab work first before we go into the upward dog. We're going to drop into the up dog. Starfish on the hands, press into the fingers, elbows squeeze in. Plank position. Breathe. Then one knee comes down. You can be here or this hammer position with the fist. We're going to lift the knee foot. Shoulder blades pull down the back as if you're putting your shoulder blades into your back pocket. Lift the knee. Switch. We're just doing 3 breaths on each side. You can keep the foot down if you want. One more time each side. Fortitude. Switch. Please give me the grace of fortitude. And release. Sit back for just a second. Just reach straight ahead and stretch the armpits. Back to the upward dog. Again, starfish, squid, elbows come in towards each other. to engage the rotator cuff. Shoulder blades pulled down the back for the lower traps. Go out to your plank. So slight bend in the elbows. They're not locked. Tops of the feet, lower down. Arch behind the heart like the cobra. And retract the head. Shift back. I can't talk while I'm in that. That's a pretty intense pose. Here we go again. Shoulder blades down the back, elbows bend and pull in like you're squeezing a beach ball. Plank, tops of the feet, arch. You have to breathe like you mean it on that one. Got to get some oxygen down. Last time. Catch your breath. Press into the fingers so all the weight is not driving right through the wrist. Elbows bend, squeeze in. Elbows stay bent throughout this. Tops of the feet, squeeze it in, the elbows. Arch behind the heart. Knees down, sit back. Walk it in for Ustrasana. Onto your knees, put a pillow under your knees or double fold your mat. Hands are on your hips. This is a huge heart opener. Elbows back, belly in and up. Arch behind the heart. You got to start it up here because it wants to dump here. Don't let it. The heart's rising, opening, rising, opening, rising. Remember that practice with the cobra of the ribs moving forward and up? Same thing here. Ribs moving forward and back. You know, your knees can be a little apart. Feet can be a little closer. And you can reach back. Left hand goes up, sit back. You have to breathe deep into that because the pecs are on a big stretch and they're trying to collapse the rib cage at the front. All of these things that we did were trying to open that up before you got here. There was a big lead into this. Here we go. Knees a little wide, feet a little closer. Now set this up just like the cobra that you did. Elbows squeeze, high ribs move high and back. Mid ribs move up and back. Low ribs move up and back. Belly in to flatten the low back. Tailbone points down to flatten the low back. And once you feel like you've distributed it as well as you can into the upper back, then you can reach. Retract your head, scrape your Adam's apple, and then go back. Fortitude. Left hand goes up to the sky, sit out of this. Kapalabhati breathing. You can sit on a chair if you want. Shh, 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 so you're just doing a shh. It's like you're telling somebody to be quiet in a library, and as a result, the belly comes in. We're going to go a little faster. Nothing moves up here. Shh, 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 and then knee down spinal rotation. On your back, left knee over right, drop to the, so left knee's on top, I'm going to drop right. Roll all the way to your side, hook onto the ribs, left arm goes up, lengthen out your neck, and then let the left arm drop open while you keep the rib cage pulled forward so that this rotation sinks completely and totally into the upper back. Remember, the ball of the shoulder must be pulled back and down. Palm up, float from a T shape to a Y. Hang out wherever you need it. Breathe into your fingers, get fascinated with your breath. You can belly breathe here. 3-part breath, light ujjayi. Allow your shoulder blade to slide toward your spine. Release. You're going to lift your legs with your abs. Pull your belly in and lift. The Grace of Fortitude to reach unconditional love. Right knee on top, roll right. Hold the rib cage, arms straight up. This rotates from the upper back only. Lengthen your neck. The shoulder must go back and down. You should not be able to see the ball of the shoulder in your peripheral vision. Palm up. Fortitude. Fortitude to not have everything right now, immediately. Fortitude to withstand time. If this hurts your knee or your low back, unwrap your knees. You can also bend the wrist back to increase the intensity. If anything tingles, you want to back out of it, maybe bend the elbow and flex the wrist. Nerves like to be stretched, but not for very long. And tingly means nerve. Pulling the belly in, lift the knees with the abs. Arms down by the sides. One last bridge and lift, just to neutralize the spine. Lift your head, lengthen it out, lay it back down. Press through the heels and lift. Arch, interlace your fingers, walk your shoulders under, and arch behind the heart. For one last heart, watch as your heart pours into your throat. The next chakra is going to be the throat chakra. This pose is really good at the heart and the throat because the sternum is pushing into the chin. As you arch behind the heart, open the heart, watch it pour into the throat. Breathe like you mean it, Ujjayi. Load the heels. You can even turn the feet out and the knees out to get deeper into the glutes. And pressing into the heels will help you arch behind the heart. Belly in, tailbone up. Fortitude. Perseverance. It's okay. I'm okay. I can persevere. I have fortitude. Pouring from my heart. Release the hands. Roll down through the shoulders. All the way to the tailbone. Good. And release. Roll to one side and press up. And we'll move to Tai Chi. Today we're opening the door, and then we're repelling the monkey, and then we are brushing the knee. So let's get started. Step out with the left foot. Open the door to the soul. Hi everyone, welcome to our meditation prayer section for the Anahata, the heart. We're going to start from the beginning today and go through the entire prayer by Carolyn Mays, which is taken from her book, Entering the Castle, which is based on Saint Teresa of Avila's book, The Inner Castle, written in 1588. So this is some really old information from some amazing sources. So let's begin. Find a seating position that you like. Tall spine. Drop your shoulders. Let's start with hypnosis. Just taking our mind to another level or into a different state. Looking up at your eyebrows, you can see them. Look up, look up, look up hard. Keep staring up until your eyes begin to blink. And flutter. And then slowly lower your eyes as if you're looking over a balcony. Drop your shoulders, relax your face, relax your skin. Deep breathing. Gather up all your thoughts, set them on a cloud, let them float away. See yourself in the room that you're in, and then in your mind's eye, you can see in the corner there's a staircase. Walk over to it. We're going to move from your outer world to your inner world. Walking down the stairs, you're on step 10. Looking down, there's a big bright white light at the bottom of the staircase. Your inner world. 9. Step down. 8. Go deeper. 7. Go deeper. 6. Step down. 5. You can feel the hardness under your feet. Step down. 4. 3. 2. You're almost even with the light. 1. Step into the light of your inner world. And as you pass through the light, you can see your inner landscape. And just picture the most utopian place for yourself, whatever that is. Walking through your inner landscape, you can see your castle in the distance. Walk towards it. You smell the smells. Feel the textures around you. Of the magnificence of your inner landscape. Walk towards your castle and the drawbridge is down. Walk across the drawbridge into your courtyard of your castle. Lift the drawbridge and now you're inside your castle. Your castle, the walls represent the spirit self, the container for the soul. Walk into the first level of the castle, and then deeper to the second, through the corridors, into the third. And then beyond that, you land at the fourth level of your castle, where the heart is kept. Unconditional love is the jewel in this level. So quickly we go to the mind when the issues of the soul are so available instead. Remember, you are going deeper and deeper. And as preparation to go in your rooms, you want to go outside your mind, not in it. You want to go away from your five senses, not towards them. You don't want to rely on your mind to manufacture things. Your effort is to shut down the voice of the mind, not listen to it. You want to go deep within your interior gut to receive, to let something bubble up from within you, instead of drop into your cerebral area. This will take practice. This will take devotion. This will take many, many visits to this sacred place. Don't go in there thinking, anticipating that you're going to come out feeling mystically enlightened. As so many people have said to me, I went in there, nothing happened. Expectations are a reptile. And if you find that that is how you feel, then you note that in your notebook. I have so many expectations that I have to return to the lower mansions as soon as possible and get back to the room of expectations and note in my journal one more under expectations of God. And now let's go into the rooms. I want you to imagine that you have nobody whatsoever. None. I want you to imagine that you have completely separated from your physical form and that you're floating down a hall. Floating. You have no physical form whatsoever, and you are absolutely elevated almost to the ceiling, maybe to the sky, maybe back just above the floor. You are weightless. And as you're floating down the hall, you find yourself floating right through a doorway into a room on the right. And you feel absolutely light-filled. It is beautiful. You are floating over a bed of the most gorgeous flowers. And it is truly a bed of velvet grass beneath you. And you just float right down into the grass. It is luscious, soft as velvet. And the fragrant flowers around you and the sound of water, spiritual sweetness, begins to play in the background. It is absolutely gorgeous, beautiful. And you begin to listen to Saint Teresa's words that spiritual sweetness pours into your system spontaneously. The divine comes to visit when you least expect it, but you must be open, not through expectations, simply because you say to God, I'm open. I am open to receive you. Just like receiving water, the sensation of mystical water begins to flow from the top of your head through this weightless body, and you feel this sensation taking you over, as if it's just rushing through you with absolute delight, flushing out any sort of debris, weightlessness and water. Combining the two, flushing out, it is the effortless effort. You've never felt such a sensation. There is no block in your body at all. You are hollow. You are empty. You are weightless, and the water flushes through you as if you were a hollow reed. Such a sensation is lightness like you have never felt. The water is crystal, absolute crystal, and all physical pain is dissolved. All emotional, all mental, all stress, it's absolutely gone. There is nothing but blissful emptiness. And you are floating beautifully, beautifully floating in a sensation like you have never, ever known in your life. It is exquisite. Now, spend this time with God. Now pause and absorb the mystical lightness and feel the intimacy of the divine through your entire soul. And do not release that, but rather feel yourself releasing the room, but do not release the divine. And feel yourself floating out of the room, fully, fully embracing God. This is a room you return to many, many times. This is your room of mystical water. Amen. Continue. Let's go back into the hall. We're going to float down our hall. We're not going to touch the ground. We are going nowhere near the ground. And we float through a door on our left. And as we enter this room, the fragrance of roses is everywhere, everywhere. But as we look, there is no ceiling on this room. There is none. And up we go. Up we go into the heavens. We are surrounded by the night and the stars. We are surrounded completely by the force of the cosmos, and an embrace comes around us, the warmest, deepest embrace of God. Here is the cosmos. And a depth of love full to your heart. And your heart is crushed within the hand of God. And you are put directly into the bosom of the divine. And a question: will you become an instrument of my heart? And below you is the earth and all of humanity and all of the creatures. And you feel a shaft of light flow from God through this wide open hole in your chest. And as you look through, it is shattered, but there is a pulsation of grace. it is crystal, it is light-filled, it has opened a cavity in you, larger than the whole of your body. You are in the cavity of light. It is not in you. It is larger than the universe. Through this, you are looking at the earth and all that is life. It is better to love much than to think much. It is better to act than to ponder what to act. It is better to have the courage to reach out to touch one human being with love than to wonder, what will they think if I touch them? It is better to recognize that light is flowing through your soul at all times, and to recognize it penetrates every word, every thought, every action. Let healing flow through me to this person. It is done. When you say, let peace flow into this person, it is done. Let peace flow into me, it is given. Let love flow into me, that is a given. It is better to love than to think about love. The mystical force shattering you as container. Feel that embrace with the divine. You are one with God. Hovering within the universe. Hold the earth in your hands. And feel yourself as God returns you to this room. And your soul is returned to this sanctuary of mystical love and the heart of the sacred. This is your room to go for nurturing when your heart becomes too heavy, when your heart becomes too full, when you need to tap into that precious energy of the heart of the sacred. This is a sanctuary where you need to come and pray often. This is your holy place within your heart. Amen. Let it be so. And now, I want you to feel lightness as you go to the final room in your fourth mansion. I want you to perceive at the end of the hall a beautiful golden door, a beautiful light-filled door. Move through that door, and in the interior is an exquisite chapel, an exquisite holy sanctuary. You are lightness. You are shed of your reptiles. You are fully present. And in this beautiful, beautiful place, you are to receive messages from the divine. There's no work to do in here. If you are filled with a question, if you need guidance, then release that now. Release that request and feel the guidance come through your soul, not through your mind. Receive. Say, I block nothing. I am fully surrendered. Release that force and say, change any part of my life that you need to change. Even as I say this prayer, change my life. Even as I, in this quiet chapel within my soul, open myself to receive any guidance that I must hear at this point, I surrender. What needs to be taken from my life or what needs to be given, perhaps it is time for me to love someone. Perhaps you are going to send me someone to love who needs to be loved deeply, and I am ready to love deeply. Perhaps you are going to call me to a place that needs the quality of love that can flow through me now. I am ready. Be receptive now. And in this sacred place, let the feeling, the presence of the divine fill you. Be still and know that you are with God. Feel that grace move through you to those you love, to those you do not love, and to the greater sphere of humanity. You are a channel for grace. And now take a deep breath and with great gratitude, release the prayer, I am always present to this light and to this guidance. Amen. Let it be so. And now as we prepare to leave the fourth mansion, focus on the exit prayer. I am a channel of grace. As I leave the fourth mansion, grace surrounds me and grace protects me. I enter my life under the blessing of God and I remain open to receive guidance in my soul, safe within the grace-filled energy of my castle. Amen. Let it be so. Bring your hands in front of your heart. Choose 3 blessings in your life and give thanks. We have left the fourth mansion and now we shall leave the castle, walk past the third mansion, the second, the first, out into the courtyard of your castle. Walk across the bridge to your landscape and then see the stairs that go back into the outer world. We'll go up. Step 1. You're going to bring your castle with you. Line it up along your spine and into your brain. The first mansion is at your tailbone. The second mansion is at the sacral level.
The third mansion is in the solar plexus. The fourth mansion is in your heart. Stack the mansions of the castle. Step 2, step 3, step up 4 as you take your castle with you. Step 5, step up 6, step up 7. You can see the green radiating from your heart. Step 7, step 8, getting closer to the outside world. Step 9, step up 10. While you stand on the 10th step, you can see the green radiating from your heart out into the world, out into the room, out into your community. Take a moment to recognize that you are in the world, but you are not of it. As you exhale, lower your ego mind below your compassionate heart in reverence. Inhale as you rise. Open your eyes. And namaste. The castle in me honors the castle and mansions in you. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for joining me.